and in today's episode, the headline news is I've got a new contract. It's only for 12 months, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Don't know whether it's a pat on the back. I'm not quite sure. Are they not convinced that I can do a good job over a long? I don't know. I mean, if we just have a look at the vision and see what the expectations are that have come out of that new contract. So if we have work within the wage budget, they always put that in on course, fine, not judging. But then current season reached the UEFA Champions League proper, failed. Reached the latter stages of the Europa League, failed. Record a League One UBEREATS top half finish, passed that. And reached the latter stages of the French Cup, failed. So I've failed virtually every criteria and they give me a new 1-year contract. I'm not quite sure. Is that saying that I'm a good manager and they want to keep hold of me? Or is that saying, well, at the moment, we can't find anybody better, so we'll give you a 1-year contract? I don't know. And also, results on the pitch, I don't think warrant a new contract either. So let's have a little look at what's been going on. So after the mauling by Newcastle, who, by the way, are through to the latter stage, I'm not sure if they're actually in the final now, Newcastle. So they were predicted to win the competition, and they may well go on to do that. So, I mean, no disgrace really in losing to the team who finally win it. But we did get a mauling, and it was 5-1. It wasn't pretty to watch. But then after that, I thought, right, okay, do we need to change the formation again? So I went back playing with wingers. It didn't really work. We don't really have wingers at the club, but I thought, well, I need to do something to try and, because, you know, the form had not been great. If we look back here, you know, to the defeat by Lyon, the form had not been great going into the Europa League game against Newcastle. But anyway, so that worked out really badly because we got thrashed by Nice 4-0. And then we played Auxerre at home. And we even got beaten that 2-1. So I kind of refined the tactic again. Still playing on a cautious mentality. 2 up top and 3 across the middle with a DM behind them. And that seemed to turn it round a little bit. So put a couple of friendlies in there just to practice it. I threw a lot of practice sessions into the training. And the next league game, we played Rennes. Now, Rennes are kind of bogey team in the league, if you will, where it's every season, it's nip and tuck between them, whichever gets the kind of 3rd or 4th position. Rennes going great guns in the league. Played them at their place, got a 1-1. Okay, we could have done with the 3 points after previous results, but we didn't. It was a 1-1. And then we played at Reims at home. We beat them 2-1. And then we had a really shocking draw against ASSE, who were down in the relegation area. 1-1 draw, not great again. We then played Montpellier, beat them 2-1. We then played Lille away. That was a very close game, and we got beat 3-2 in that one. So again, not the greatest of results when we're jockeying for a European position of some flavour. And the last game I played off camera was against Strasbourg, and we won that 4-2 after going behind. Now, I do need to show you a goal in this. I'm not going to make any comments like I usually do. There's going to be no ranting. Just have a look at this goal. And bearing in mind, these goals are actually affecting the points that you get in a game. And, I mean, in this game, they didn't in the end, but they can do. And these goals are actually... I did say I wasn't going to comment, didn't I? I can't help myself. Just watch this goal. So, like I say, the game had only just kicked off. And they come down our left-hand side. And what is that all about? Let's just watch that again, just for clarity. Saying nothing. However, we did come back in that game. I changed the tactic a little bit. Changed the tempo, changed a lot of things, to be honest. And eventually the AI let us win that game 4-2. So no damage done in that game, but, well, I did say I wasn't going to comment. So we've got 2 games left of the season now. We have an away game at Troyes, and then the last game of the season is a home game against Monaco. So as we can see, we've not actually made any progress this season. We're in 4th place, which is where we finished last season. We've got 66 points. Rennes have got 66 points as well. The team I suppose we need to be looking out for are Nice, who are 6 points behind us, and the goal difference is more or less the same. So if they win their last 2 games and we get beaten our last 2 games, then the chances are we're probably going to finish 5th. Not quite sure with the way that the league places. I have just had a message about Monaco and PSG not taking some position. I think the Europa League positions have dropped down. But until we play these games, we can't really tell what flavour of European football we're going to get. And to be quite honest, I'm not really sure what flavour of European football I want. Champions League, is that still beyond us? I probably think it is, but the money is very nice. Europa League football, I think we can compete in there to a level, but then we come to play a Premier League team or, you know, somebody who's a higher calibre club than us, and we just get battered. Obviously, the summer transfer window is going to be quite a biggie this season, but I'm not expecting a big budget. We're over 40 million in the red in the bank, and the board are basically, I'm asking for things. I'm asking for training facilities and all of that. Everything is just getting knocked back. I'm not getting anything from them at all. So, okay, I suppose I should be quite happy I've got a new 1-year contract, but I'm still not sure how to take that. Anyway, let's get into some football. So we have an away game at Troyes, who are mid-table. They've not really got an awful lot to play for. Can we go and get the 3 points? Well, we'll see you in the dugout to see if we can. And this is the team and the formation that we're going to use against Troyes. So we're still playing in a cautious mentality. What I'm doing is I'm playing kind of the beginning portion of a game using that, and then just gradually step it up. So we've got Rouriel back in goal. He has been injured. He's been out for about 3 weeks now. We've had the backup keeper Diouf in goal. But Rouriel is back today. He's on a fitness, but I think he should be okay. Back four is Cabal, Gattini, Diogo and Metler. Perone is the defensive midfield player. We've got Scarlata, Mbaye and Arbeloa in the midfield 3. And the 2 strikers today are Vincent and Cavalan, with Vincent playing pressing forward, which with his aggression he can play quite well, although he hasn't been scoring goals. We know he can score goals, but he hasn't been scoring goals. Cavalan, however, is on fire. In the last game, I think he scored a hat-trick. He's on his 34th, 35th goal of the season. Really on fire, Cavalan. I'll be surprised if we hang on to him. But anyway, let's get into the game. So we're underway, and like I say, Troyes don't really have an awful lot to play for. So there's no relegation issues. There's no, you know, getting into a Europa or a European place. They're not really fighting for anything. But they do have the early part of the game, and their first highlight was put out for a corner. Then they're coming back with the corner. Teto, Mendy, ball loops up into the air. Rouriel picks that ball out of the air, and we survived that one. At the moment, we've not even left the dressing room yet. No shots, nothing on target, no XG. 15 minutes into the game, we just started coming into the game now. So I'm going to step it a little bit to balance, and we're going to give them a little bit of encouragement and just try and ease our way into this game. It's the way I've been playing recently, rather than putting the team on attacking and saying, right, go for this, we need to win it. And it, for the most part, it does seem to be working. But we're getting bobbing onto half-time now, and it's still 0-0. So I'm not quite sure whether a point in this game, I think a point would see us clinch that 4th spot, which again should be the qualification playoff for the Champions League. But we would have to do a lot better than we did last season. And after me saying that Vincent was struggling to score goals, he takes that nicely around the keeper, slides it in for the first goal. And to be honest, I don't know whether we deserve that in the game. We've not had an awful lot of it. But as I've said many times before, you know, if you are a good side and you're going to win things, you need to be scoring and getting the 3 points even when you're not performing well. So that's nice to see. Troyes have had 5 shots. We've only had 2 and scored 1 of them. I mean, if it stays like that for the next 45 minutes, then I, for one, will be quite happy. Mbaye, lovely ball forward there for Cavalan. Can Cavalan stick that in? No. he was under pressure. He had 2 defenders on him, so quite a poor effort. But we'll let him off with that one because he has scored 34 goals. Okay, I'm going to say I'm delighted with your performance. Keep it going. And we kick off the second half. And it's been, I suppose now it's actually been fairly even. We've got an XG of 0.79. We've now had 5 shots, 2 on target. Match momentum is pretty even. We're going into the 70th minute now. I think time for a few substitutions. Okay, 3 subs all across the middle. Saulo, Agiolas and Menino have all come on across that middle in the midfield. So I think we are going to drop back a little bit to cautious now, just to try and hold on to this 1-0 lead. And we do seem to have we've got the momentum now towards the end of the game, and we've actually come away with the 3 points, and that is very nice. And Nice did win their game, but with that result now we've actually clinched the 4th spot. Rennes, I'm assuming again, yeah, Rennes beat Lyon with a 3-1 win. So they've been matching us every time we win, they win. So it's still nip and tuck there. They are in third place, courtesy of goal difference. If we can win against Monaco and Rennes lose, or get anything other than a win, then we will go into 3rd place. But as it stands, we've got 4th place. That's ours now. That can't be taken away for us. But we have got a very tough game. The last game of the season is against Monaco. Will be quite a tough game, that. As you can see, PSG have already won the title. They won it with 5 games to spare, PSG. Absolutely run away with it. No catching them at all. So I'm just going to go away now, get the lads on the training pitch. Last training session of the season, just before we play Monaco. If we can keep it nice and tight in that one and get a draw out of it, then I'll be quite happy, I think, going into the summer transfer window. Whether I'll be able to do any business or not, I don't know. I'd be surprised if we didn't get offers for my goalkeeper and my striker, because they are top players. But you never know. Football is a funny game, as we've said before. Anyway, we'll see you very shortly for the Monaco game. And before the game starts against Monaco today, the board have set the initial budgets for the season. No surprises really, seeing as we're so badly in debt. We've got a wage budget of 700,000 and a transfer budget of 1.19 million. So something's going to have to give there, because the Spanish player we've got in midfield, Arbeloa, he is coming in on a £2 million deal in the summer. That's already arranged as part of his loan deal. So something's going to have to give there. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I don't think we can... Rene got on the deal, so we'll have to find the money from somewhere. But again, I don't even think that's as much transfer budget as we got last. I think we got 1.6 million last season. This season it's even lower at 1.19, and we have booked our Champions League ticket as well. So I'm expected to go into the Champions League again with just over £1 million transfer budget. Just a little reminder, who was that team we played recently with a £233 million striker? It was PSG, I think, wasn't it? Oh no, it was Newcastle, sorry. Newcastle, yeah. Shy, their £233 million striker. Brings it into perspective a little bit, doesn't it? Anyway, let's not get bogged down in that. Let's have a look at the team for today. Well, welcome to the dugout for this final game this season, and we have Roriel in goal, back four of Cabal, Gattini, Diogo, Metler, Perrone is the defensive midfield player. It's basically the same team, other than up front we've got Carvalho starting, because Cavalan has picked up a number of yellow cards and is suspended for this game. We're playing on the same mentality, cautious mentality. We're just going to ease ourselves into the game. So we've got a full house for this final league game against Monaco. Can we put on a nice display for our fans as the season comes to an end? And not like that we won't. So we've given the ball away. Monaco are now coming and attacking us. Ball down our left-hand side. Ball loops up into the back of the net. And that was, to be fair, was a very, very nice finish by, I can't pronounce his name, but their striker. Lovely finish. We're 1-0 down. And it's not ideal, is it really? So we are going to step it up a little bit now. We're going to go balanced, give them a bit of encouragement. Free kick there, doesn't hit the target. We do get a corner though. And the corner comes to nothing, so I'm not quite sure what the point of that highlight was. So we got a throw in. Diogo, Perone into the middle, just have a shot. It's a shame. Could have kept it down a little bit better. We're just going to go a little bit further now. We're going to go positive. Give them another shout of encouragement. So let's talk about the difference in money in the Europa League and the Champions League. We've had our share of the Europa League money. Totals about 3.5 million. So very nice, you know. We'll certainly snatch the hands off for it, but it's nothing like the money that you get for the Champions League. But anyway, we have another attack from Monaco. And Monaco have now hit the post. So as we're moving into half-time, we have had 6 shots, 3 on target, but we're not matching Monaco at all. Okay, a little change in the tactic there. So we have still got 2 up top, but I've dropped Vincent to shadow striker, and Charon, who has come on up front. Neither of the strikers having a great game today, so we're just trying a little bit of something different in this one now. So the substitutions have now been made, 60 minutes on the clock. To be honest, it's not really made a huge difference. Monaco again. I'm not quite sure what... who was that then who ducked down when that ball came to him? That was very, very, very poor. We do have a corner though. Ball comes over. Nobody gets ahead on that one. And Charon just stands there and lets the Monaco player take the ball off him. Very, very, very poor. That's why he's not played an awful lot this season. Did start him as a winger, but he was awful at that as well. So we are in need of a real shake-up and a refresh, but we just don't have the money to do it. Unless I can sell some players and then use that money to rebuild. That's, well, I thought was a nice ball over the top for Carvalho to run onto, but not to be. So Monaco just playing the ball around at the back now. With ease, really. We're not pressing them at all. In fact, our fullback there is just backing away. Ball into the box, and that's in the bottom corner. And this game's going to script, isn't it, really? Did get a message through to say that it was a record points haul for RCLENS. So obviously, you know, RCLENS are just not really been at the races since, you know, since like modern times. Since I became manager, we have actually started getting up there and challenging for things, and it's a record points haul. So although we are going to lose the final game of the season to Monaco, it's nice to get one or two, you know, break one or two little records. Scarlata there is now injured. Perone with the ball out to Metler. Can we nick one in this now? I mean, there is a saying, isn't there? Can we do a Monaco? Can we do a Monaco? But Monaco are pressing really well. They're not letting us settle on the ball, and you can see them. They're pushing us further and further and further out. Now we could use that to our advantage if we could have broken their lines, but we didn't do. And Monaco do what any really good defending side does, and they just pressed us, kept winning the ball, stopped us from breaking their lines, and now they're coming back at us. And I think the lads have had a word between themselves today and said, are we going to press in this game? Can't be bothered. I've got my bucket and spade packed. I'm already on the beach. Can't really be bothered. We've done the job. I mean, anybody who thinks like that, there's the door. Transfer window is going to be very, very interesting this summer. Like I say, are we going to get any decent sized offers for our players? I mean, really, that money should be used to pay off the bank balance, but Carvalho does actually dink the ball over the keeper. I think that's a little bit of a trademark for him, that, dinking the ball over the keeper. And can we actually pile it on and get another goal before the final whistle? No, we can't. It finishes 2-1 to Monaco. No disgrace in that, really. I am going to say that I'm far from pleased with the result. And that sees us finish in 4th place. Rennes did actually win their final game of the season. I mean, they've been on a bit of a roll, Rennes, so I'm not really surprised by that. We have finished in 4th place. So we have to work out now whether that's playoff games or straight into the league situation. Only time will tell. We'll have to wait to see what the email says. So we have received our prize money, if you can call it that, for finishing 4th. We get to 12 million. With the Europa League money, we're now down to a 30 million deficit in the bank. So even that amount of money coming in is, I mean, okay, it's reduced it, but we got to a point of like 44, 45 million in the red in the bank. Now we're down to 30 million. So it's still not great, but it's better than it was. Just an interesting little snippet as well, talking about the whole situation with Newcastle in the Europa League. Newcastle actually won the Europa League and they won the FA Cup as well. So even though they finished mid-table in the Premier League, they are obviously a very, very good team. So I mean, I still would like to have not got battered by them, but it does put things in perspective a little bit. And if we have a look at the club vision now for next season, I think this probably puts things into perspective even more. So the club vision is for the end of next season, reach the UEFA Champions League proper is required. Record a League One UBEREATS top finish only is required. My contract expires at the end of next season, so I'm guessing they're just chancing their arm a little bit, see how I do. If things are not going well, then they can fire me off. End of the season afterwards, the 234-235 season, qualify for the Conference League. I'm not quite sure how this is working out, really. So the season after next, they want to qualify for the Conference League, which is less than we've done this season and less than what they want for next season. The end of the season after, they want to qualify for the Europa League, and then the 2036-37 season, they want to qualify for the Champions League. So, little bit of upward ambition there, but the fact that at the end of not next season, season after, they only want to qualify for the Conference League, maybe tells a story. I don't think the ambition is there really, and I think maybe the AI looks at RCLENS as being not that great a club. So when it comes to like big games like we've just seen in the Monaco games, they just don't rate us and we get beat. Newcastle, the same. PSG, the same. I think it's going to take an awful lot without any money to get this team to the next stage. So we're going to the end of season team meeting now. So I think if we just read through these, the one that actually complies with the board requirements is a top half finish. And they're all pleased. I mean, there was one in there saying we're going to qualify for the Champions League. Obviously, that would have been the wrong button to press. But they all seem okay with that. And we're now looking at the Champions League competition proper next season. Yep. Click that one. They all seem okay with that one. And we'll just say, right, go on, have a nice little holiday. Away you go. And come back fighting fit for the new season. A little bit of a rumour about my goalkeeper, Rouriel. Spurs are believed to be ready to discuss a deal around the 52 million mark, which would be very, very good money coming in for him. Very, very good money indeed. But it's only a rumour. And there's no offer on the table at the moment. And unlike last season, we do actually get, I was beginning to think my save was broken, we do actually get an end of season review. So let's just run through that quickly before we sign off for this episode. So, new arrivals, Diogo, average rating is 7.25. Arbeloa 7.19. He's the midfield player who we have got to sign basically. Vincent 7.08. So we're getting some nice numbers here. Diogo 3 goals, 1 assist. Arbeloa is actually performed really well. 7 goals, 14 assists. Vincent 12 goals, 7 assists. I mean, you can read all of these scores for yourself. But we're actually doing okay there. The new signings that have come in have performed quite well. The board are very pleased with the deal to sign Diogo. Got a B+ for that. Like I say, his average rating 7.25. And we get an A- there. The board are pleased that the team qualified for the Champions League through participation in the League One UBEREATS this season. Moments to remember: the 6-1 win against FC Lorient, nice win that one. A 4-0 win against Lille, and they picked out one of the games against Shakhtar. We won both of those games, if you remember, and performed very well. Gave me some high hopes before we went in and got drawn against Newcastle. But Newcastle did eventually go on to win the thing, so maybe not too many regrets there. So we've got a 4-star club reputation. That's kind of stayed as it was. Nice to see all these in the green. Sponsorship, roughly the same at 11 million. Broadcast revenue slightly up at 30.5 million. Corporate hospitality slightly up, 2.31 million. Competition prize money was massively up from last season, 14 million last season. This season 22 million, and that's where we need to be. We need to get this club to the next level, which is going to be very difficult, but we need to get into the next level, get that money coming in, get that bank balance sorted, and then we might start getting some reasonable transfer budgets. At the moment it's not happening. And the commercial and retail 2.19 million, that's slightly up from last season. 23,500 shirts sold. Cavalan, top of the shop, no surprise there. Argiolas, Saulo, Roriel and Carvalho are coming up close behind. So, little awards ceremony. Cavalan got the Fans Player of the Season. Again, no surprise there really. Young Player of the Season, again, Cavalan. Be very surprised if we hold on to him. Signing of the season, the centre-back Diogo. He did have a grumpy on, if you remember, and was out of sorts for quite a few weeks. And that also coincided with our form taking a big dip. But he was brought in to appease the goalkeeper, Roriel, if you remember. He was unhappy that I hadn't signed a player to help him settle in. Diogo came in and did 2 jobs really. It was, centre back we needed, but it also helped Roriel settle in better. So maybe we'll see. He's only 23. Maybe we'll see the best of Diogo next season. Top goal scorer Cavalan with 35 goals. Most assists Arbeloa with 14 assists. Most player of the match awards Cavalan with 8. And the highest average rating, again, Cavalan, he's kind of scooped all the awards. Average rating is 7.3. And with that, that's the season finished. So we're back in Europe again next season. Whether we can, I very much doubt we can challenge PSG for the league title. Even Monaco, we do find it a bit of a struggle with Monaco. So I'm not expecting huge progress in the league. To be fair, I'm not really expecting huge progress in Europe either, with the amount of money that I've not got to spend. But it will be a very interesting summer. Going to have to get my thinking cap on and do some serious thinking about who stays, who goes. Maybe some of the players that go will bring us in big money. We've already seen Spurs may be interested in Roriel for 56 million. That would wipe out the deficit in the bank balance and also give us some money to spend in the transfer market. And I'm sure with my tactical nous and knowledge on players around the world, I can go and pick another goalkeeper up. But anyway, we'll have to see about that. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please give me a like. If you're new around here, please subscribe, spread the word, all of that kind of stuff. And as per usual, if you like your football manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then why not come back for the next episode? Because the next episode is going to be all about the transfers, see whether I've been able to do any wheeling and dealing. So there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up, and we get the start of next season, which is very important to try and get this bank balance sorted out and see if we can get a little bit more consistency in Europe and reach for some better results, better positions in there, and better money as well. So we'll see you next time. Well, hopefully we'll see you next time. It's all exciting stuff here with the Gobby Gaffer playing Football Manager.